Hello everybody, winter is coming and I am so very excited that I gathered today with me a distinguished panel, Hannah Lannister, Josh Lannister, and Kelly Lannister, and I'm Mike Targaryen. See, the joke with that is that we all took a Game of Thrones quiz to see what house we belong to, and they all got Lannister and I got Targaryen. So
I'm very jealous of you.
hello, I'm Blood of the Dragon, and you're not.
I'm happy to be a Lannister.
You're happy to be a Lannister.
I always pay my debts. I'm happy about this.
Okay, so what this is going to be is we're going to answer some of the questions that we know fans have about the upcoming season. We are all fans here, and we are all very interested in what the answers to these questions are.
Is Kelly a fan? I mean, she said she's going to have to make time to watch Game of Thrones.
If you're a fan,
like,
you will
I'm
make
just
time.
saying. I'm just saying. She's
Hey,
going to make the time.
I rectified the situation. I said no. I do watch it every
she
Sunday
did. She
faithfully.
corrected
I have
herself.
HBO Go. I can watch it before all of you.
It's a lifestyle.
You
Yeah.
will
It
watch
is.
it. Okay, before we get started, this is a very important thing. This is your one and only spoiler alert. We are going to be talking about events that happened in all of the seasons, and we are also going to be speculating about what is going to happen in Season 6. If you're into that sort of thing, then great, we're happy to have you. But if you do not want anything to be spoiled for you, then turn this video off right now. This is your one and only warning.
But click on the video just so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Maybe watch it on mute.
Yeah, click on the video. Okay. First question. You guys ready?
Very ready.
This is the biggest question. Will Jon Snow be resurrected?
Yes.
Why?
I think. Well, to be honest, I don't think that Jon Snow's real father is Ned Stark. I think that he is, Ned Stark is his uncle. You know what I mean?
Who do you think his father is?
Easily the Targaryen.
Well,
Oh, you think this is going to be the major twist like that?
Yeah.
That's the theory that that Jon Snow's father is Rhaegar Targaryen, and his mother is Lyanna Stark, and that the whole story of Rhaegar killing Lyanna was actually fabricated in order to protect Jon Snow's identity. So you think Jon Snow is going to be resurrected?
Definitely.
Who's gonna resurrect him?
That's tough.
I just think he never died. Like,
He never died.
Never
know.
died. Okay. Here's the thing, right? We see Jon Snow. He's bleeding out. I think he's dead. You know,
dead.
Game of Thrones, they throw twists at you.
Right
but he's
now-
dead.
right now he's dead.
I say Melisandre, she revives him. And the Night's Watch, right? And your watch is ended once you're dead. He's not dead anymore. He's back. He was dead. Now he can claim the throne. I think he's going to then team up with Khaleesi. And I think they're going to...
how is he going to find... See, the thing about that's an interesting story, first of all, and I never even heard it. I think could be very plausible. But how would he team up with Khaleesi? She's literally on that island that begins with an M.
She's in the city of Marine.
Yeah, Marine. Ha,
Yeah.
I got it right.
Well, I
There's an
think-
M.
all right,
She's in Marine. He just died at the wall. They're like literally, you know, that map at the very beginning of Game of Thrones
They're
is very
polar
helpful.
opposites.
They are so polar opposites. I don't know, how is he ever going to find her?
No, that's a great point. Well, I think it's going to happen with those. The dragons are going to come. Khaleesi's going to come. Then they're going to help fight the White Walkers because the dragons, the fire, is what kills the White Walkers.
Yes, yep.
So it might not be this season. It might not even be next season. But at one point, Khaleesi and Jon, I think, will team up when Khaleesi has to come save everyone from the White Walkers. And that's when I think they'll
Khaleesi
meet up.
can't even find her own dragons right now. Didn't she go off and look for her dragons and now
No, the dragons saved her at the end of season 5.
The dragon saved her, but one of her dragons is injured, and the other two are locked up.
See, I don't think that Khaleesi and Jon Snow will team up together, but I think that they will both be working towards the same effort unknowingly.
I mean, they both want to be. I mean, we know Khaleesi wants to be on the throne. Jon Snow is just a leader, and yeah, I personally don't. I mean, yeah, he's dead, fine, but they saw the actor who plays Jon Snow like on set with everybody. They have photographs of him. He's there for a reason. It's not that they're hanging out in a big fur coat. So I think he's going to be around either in like flashbacks or someone's going to revive him, and I don't think we've seen the last of Jon Snow.
I agree with you guys. And for me, the reason is very simple. It's that HBO wants us to believe that Jon Snow is dead. They always put out a statement, and actors always put out a statement. You cannot trust what HBO and the actors say because they are contractually obligated to not say things about the show.
Yeah, seriously.
So that is my reason for why Jon Snow is indeed not dead and is coming back to life.
He is coming back. We
are going to move on to the next question now. Who will be the first main character to bite the dust? Who's going to die first?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Arya died. I feel like she's in a tough spot right now. Like, doesn't the man with, what, 2 faces?
The faceless god.
Yeah, so he has no faces. Guys, I know what I'm talking about here. I watch it every week. But he hates her right now. And she got in trouble because she was like trying on faces in that room or whatever. I feel like she's in trouble. Like, people are not happy with her over at that situation she's in. She's just I don't get her whole storyline. I don't see what she's doing.
For me, Ramsay's Bolton. Okay, you see him in battle at the end of season 5, but you're rooting against him the whole time. And then Theon and Sansa, they escaped. I think that they're going to go get their revenge with Brienne Tarth, clear that whole thing up, and then they'll move on.
Ramsay should die. He's terrible.
I have to take objection to that. Game of Thrones rarely kills off characters that we actually want to die.
You're
What about
right.
Joffrey? What about Joffrey?
Joffrey, I think, is the exception.
That was
and
a
not the rule.
fantastic
But how much narrative
exception.
mileage can you have with a sadistic psychopath? I mean, he's
Exactly.
done everything that he's really needed to do.
Everything,
You know,
yeah. He hurt Sansa, and
Tortured Theon.
Tortured Theon is just a
he's
terrible
done
human
all
all around.
the big things
Went
that he
to
could
battle.
possibly
Yeah.
I
do. There's
think
nothing really
Theon's
left for
sister
him.
might come back and might help in the aid of destroying Ramsay.
See, I think a major character who might die is Tommen. I mean, he kind of, again, did everything he really had to do. He's really naive, too honest, too young. He's kind of sensitive, so he doesn't really fit in with the rest of the main characters.
The naive don't last very long in Game of Thrones, do
And
they?
They don't
he's a
last long in
piece,
life.
not a player.
Yes. Everybody is a piece. As far as I'm concerned, there are only 2 players. Baelish and Varys are the only 2 players here. Daenerys could very well become a player, but Varys and Baelish are the only ones that are pulling the strings at this point.
And one more thing on that. I think Jorah Mormont, I think he will die at some point saving Khaleesi. I don't think he'll be the first character to die, though.
To me, I mean, again, this comes from the way I know the pattern of this show, the way they take away characters that you love so much. And the character I love the most right now is Tyrion. So as much as I hate to say it,
No, you're
Tyrion
right.
is going to
No,
die.
I think
And it's because they
He
love to
brings
take
in
away
the
characters.
audience.
He
No,
brings
no,
it.
I think that's
the audience.
extremely plausible. Listen, after the Red Wedding, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they just got rid of Tyrion. I feel like he's in a lot of hot water, too. People are not happy with him right now. So
Cersei will
there are
find him.
truly no rules in this show.
I
There
think
aren't.
there's no way they kill off both Jon Snow and Tyrion.
I think they would. There's still,
I thought-
that's why people
you know
keep
what?
watching.
I thought that there would be no way that they killed
Ned Stark,
Catelyn Stark and Robb Stark
That
and
was
Robb
just-
Stark's wife all in the same minute.
One
but
fell
that
swoop,
happened
yeah.
as well. So, okay, we're gonna move on to the next question. So,
My favorite question.
when the series is all done, when we get to the final episode of Game of Thrones, who is going to be sitting on the Iron Throne?
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi.
Daenerys Targaryen,
Daenerys Targaryen.
yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I can see easily Daenerys taking the throne, but also Cersei has been known to weave her way into situations
I hate
that everyone
her.
hates. So, I mean, I can see Cersei making a comeback.
Cersei making
I
a comeback.
think, you know what? I think she's finally going to get what's coming to her, too. I would hope in her own way. I do not think she will be on the throne. She's just so evil. Daenerys Targaryen, since the beginning, has been, like, she's a leader. She is power, like the epitome of power. I honestly, if she doesn't end up on the Iron Throne, either like she makes it and then loses it or something, even if she doesn't end up there, she's going to get there eventually. Though I've been waiting for season after season now, and she just she's out of she's moving from group to group at this point, but she's still in Marine. She's still way off course from King's Landing, and I don't know how she's going to get there when she's going to do.
There's still a lot of episodes to go, though. I'm in
Look,
agreement.
if you have two dragons, I mean,
yeah.
How? What do you? I mean, come on.
Daenerys has the biggest army, the most well-trained army. She has 3 dragons, even though one right now is kind of injured. But she has to find her way because when we last saw her in season 5, she was being captured by the Dothraki.
Right.
So she's going to have to find a way to get out of that. The Dothraki found her when she was very, very vulnerable. And we saw in the season 6 trailers that she's not in a good spot right now. Nobody's in a good spot right now. So it's going to be whoever has the toughest resolve and can break out. And I think Dany has the best chance of doing that. All right, here's the last question. This is a question that that I've really been thinking about since the middle to the end of season 1. and it's yet to be answered, or at least the way I want it to be answered. Will the Starks ever get back together? We have Arya in Braavos. We have Jon Snow, even though he is the illegitimate son, or maybe a Targaryen. He is currently dead at Castle Black. We have Sansa, who is in Winterfell, but under the control of the Boltons. And then we have Bran and Rickon, who went north of the Wall, and they found their Raven. So they are like in Siberia right now. They are north of the Wall. So they're all pretty separated, and they don't have any clue of where the others are.
Or even if the others are alive.
Exactly. So will they eventually get back together?
That would be one big feat right there. I don't know. I honestly, a piece of me thinks never. I think if they bring them back together, it's just going to be for like audience enjoyment at this point, because I think these characters are so into their own things right now and their own current situations that they're in. These people that they surround themselves with right now are all they know. That's who they know right now. Like, I feel like their family, like their fellow Starks, are just not even a thought.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Find My Phone in this situation. No Find My Friends. I don't see any way in which any of them get back together at this point. Especially if Jon might be dead. Just no way they get back together. No way they find each other again. And yeah.
I mean, I can see one occurrence where maybe Arya, as a faceless man, bumps into one of them and doesn't reveal herself. But like, they could end up colliding that way, but I don't think so.
I hope she would. I don't know.
Well, Arya will never be a faceless man, and if she continues to recognize her family, because that is a prerequisite of being a faceless man, is being to give up all of your identity. And we've seen time and time again in season 5 that she is not ready to do that. She does not want to do that. She's not ready to do that.
And that's, I think, a big piece of it, of whether she ever will be reunited with anyone in her family. Maybe that could be a clue. Like, maybe once she's ready to give up her identity, that's when somehow the cards will align here, and she'll end up bumping into one of her family, and she's not going to recognize them, and then that's going to be agonizing for the audience. The minute she acknowledges her responsibility and her duty and wants to do that and be the faceless man, that's when she's going to run into Sansa, and I'm going to be like, this is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because that's how Game of Thrones works. It doesn't ever play fair.
I agree with that.
All right, guys. Any final remarks that you want to say about season 6?
I'm excited for the Mountain versus the Hound at some point. When I think Cersei...
Wait a minute. Is the Hound even alive, though?
I think the Hound's alive. What I think is the Hound is going to be found by the religious people.
The faith, yep.
Yes, and Cersei's going to demand a trial by combat, and the Mountain's going to defend her. Oh, wow. And the Hound is going to defend, and I think we're in for another great battle.
Oh, that is a very interesting theory that I've never heard
before. Looking
forward to that. Hannah, do you have any final remarks?
I just hope Jon Snow is alive.
Don't we all? All right, guys, that is it for our panel today. As always, Game of Thrones starts Sunday night, April 24th on HBO. All right, guys. Valar Morghulis.